The man who saved me as a child left me with a bracelet I would only realize the significance of as I grew older. Over time, I was to find out the bracelet held plans for the inner workings of the Skymen's technology. Throughout the years, those of us not considered to be included in the elite had to survive however we could, often having to scavenge for the bare essentials. At 17, I was caught stealing from supplies designated for the Sky Havens. My sentence was imprisonment in a high-security Sky prison, where they discovered the hidden contents of my bracelet. Imprisoned and forgotten for years, forgotten by my captors, I survived. During this time, I met a brilliant and courageous man, Reece, who gave me knowledge. The knowledge to invent, the knowledge to defend myself, and the knowledge to fly.
I think it's about entropy. It's the sort of this give and take of energy. Like economically, it's the haves and the have-nots. But underneath that, at a very sort of like physics level, it's more about people that have a lot of energy that you take. It's this relationship of we want cooperation, not domination. Which because like the world's in a domination-based state where Judas Board, this bad guy, is taking all this energy and taking all these resources from people, and they want to switch to a more relationship-based where it's cooperative, where energy is freely given back and forth. I think that's what matters. Also at a sort of religious level, and Skymen are kind of like these angels, they're kind of like God's avengers. I kind of see the world as Judas War sort of took over heaven, where the sky was, or heaven, where all the glorious things are, and God wants it back. Now Judas is the guy that portrayed Jesus. Niels Bohr hated Einstein. These people aren't exactly the stars, but they're the ones that want revenge. It's kind of like the guy that hated Mozart, It's the same concept. And these sort of angels, these sort of archangels like Michael, when you see like Michael stabbing there, these are the people that are taking everything back from this guy, from the tyrant, from the dictator, from the people that are like the totalitarian leaders that ruin everything. That the Skymen are the good guys. That's why I think it's a compelling story. That's what the essence is about.
With roving gangs murdering each other for whatever resources Judas Bohr had not taken for the Sky Havens, there were few people left working toward a unified peace. Just before Reece died, he left me with information I would need to bring humanity back from the brink. Unfortunately, I had to start a bit of trouble and escape from my continued imprisonment.
Well, originally the idea, when you showed the presentation clip, I just thought of Iron Man the game, and that bored me because that game wasn't very good. So I thought, what is it about this game that makes it different as opposed to just flying in the sky like an Ace Combat game? But it's also, then I started thinking about when we got deeper into it, how we talked about debris or things like that, but also the fact that the suit itself, the design, it has kind of I forgot what you call it, like a gyro or something like that, that lets you sort of lock onto a target in the sky and sort of orbit around them, and that I think makes it pretty cool. Like as far as engagements go, you can focus on one guy, or maybe as you mentioned earlier, like a slingshot to throw yourself from one enemy maybe to another and then orbit around him. That, and also you're not just flying anymore if there's debris or other space stations. Maybe you're more maneuvering, you're trying not to get hit, you're avoiding things, you're traveling distances within wherever base you are. And again, the combat I think sounds pretty fun when when you bring into the account of how fast you might be moving. Maybe you're fighting an enemy at like a really high speed, and then you have to lock onto him. Maybe find ways to keep your speed really fast, and also fire at them or different things. I think right now there's a lot of I think cool opportunities we can do that with that creative.
Yeah, I mean, as far as gameplay is concerned, we definitely wanted to develop something that was different from a standard flight mechanic. Something that would make a flight game seem fast-paced, because of course there's the fast pace of flying and shooting things, but really being able to directly engage an enemy and kind of challenge them. So if you can imagine two guys flying towards each other and just beginning to orbit and shoot at one another, and one's losing, so he flies away and you chase him down, or if you're chasing somebody, you lock onto floating debris, you orbit around that and slingshot somewhere. So just this idea that you can constantly fly and correct and orbit around different things, it makes for really dynamic gameplay. Especially in a way you can control your attraction to things. So say the harder you press the L button, the closer you get in your orbit, or the further away, so you can land on something or crash into an enemy. And I think that can make for really exciting gameplay. Also the idea that you're kind of on the edge of control. So you have control of these suits, but if there's debris and there's all these kind of things flying past you, and maybe it's kind of shaky at times when you're going really fast, it could really make the experience kind of feel genuine rather than just you're loosely floating in this kind of vacuous space. That's something that we hope would be able to set it apart.
The world now is of violence and decay, with those in the sky taken from the few of us that remain trying to survive on the ground. I see a different world, a world of justice, a world of equality, a world where peace can be achieved by all regardless of class. I don't know how this will end, but do know how it will begin. After all, I'm a skyman now. Not even angels can keep up with me.